Hello everyone, today I'm going to be making another expressJS video, except this time I'm going to be showing you how to integrate socket.io into your web server. So firstly, set up your web server as shown in the first video of this series. So I'm going to do npm init-y, and then create my index.js. And instead of only installing Express, we're also going to install socket.io. While that's loading, I'm going to set up a server. So const express equals require express. Const socket.io equals require socket.io. And then const http equals require http. So now we're going to make our app. So we're going to do const app equals express. Const server equals http.createServerApp. And then we're going to create our socket.io server. I'm going to use app.useExpress.staticPublic. And then I'm going to do server.listen 3000, and then I'm going to say console.log listening. Server is running on port 3000, whatever, it doesn't really matter. So now I'm just going to create my public directory. I'm going to create index.html. And then I'm just going to set up a boilerplate in here and name this socket.io project. So going back to the server, what I'm going to do is check if there is a client that connects to our socket.io server, then we're just going to log something. So I'm going to do io.onConnection, and then we're going to say socket. So this is the socket that's just connected, or the client that's connected. And we're going to say console.log client, and then I'm going to say plus socket.id connected. And back in here, I'm going to add a new script. This is going to be the socket.io client script. Now we're actually not going to use this one that Copilot's provided, because when you create a server with socket.io and HTTP, it adds it to your server. So we're going to just do script source equals /socket.io and then /socket.io.js. It's that easy. Now I'm also going to add a new script. I'm just going to do main.js. This is just going to be a client script that I'm going to call from here. So I'm going to do script source equals main.js. So what I'm going to do now is actually start the server. So I'm going to do node index.js, hit into my web browser and do localhost 3000. And as you can see, it's the socket.io project, and it's just a blank page for now. Now nothing actually logged because we're not connecting to the socket yet. Now we only need one line to do that, which is var socket equals io. Now when we refresh, as you can see, client and then the client ID connected. So each time we refresh, we get a new ID, and now we are connecting the client to the server. So what I'm going to do is make a message system so we can send messages from the client to the server. All I need to do is socket.emit, and I'm just going to say message, and then I'll just do hello. Heading back into the server now, I'm going to do socket.onMessage, and then the message that we got, we're going to pass it over to a function. I'm going to say console.log message received, and then the message that we got from the client. And I'll just delete this because we don't need it anymore. Okay, so I'm going to start the server again, and now, as you can see, when we refresh, the server is receiving the message that we sent from the client. We can also do this manually from the console. So if we do socket.emit message and then we do hello, it's receiving that message. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to make a simple messaging system that will send a message from the client to the server, and then the server is going to send that message to every single client that is currently connected to the socket. So the first thing that we're going to do is set up our server. It's super simple. We're just going to once again go socket.onMessage, and then with the message that we get, we're going to turn that into a function, and we're going to say io.emit message. Now when we say io.emit, that means we're emitting to every single socket that is connected. Or if we go just socket.emit, it is taking this socket here that sent the message and just sending straight back to it. So we want to do io.emit. Now in here we're going to do socket.onMessage function, and I'll just do it like this actually, message Now we're going to create a div. This is just going to hold all of our messages. So I'm just going to div id equals messages, just like that. And now we'll do document.get element by id messages.innerHTML plus equals li message li. So last of all, we're going to also add a little input system. So I'm going to do input id equals input. I'm not going to get too fancy with this. I'm going to do window.onload and then document.get element by id input.onKeyDown plus equals event. We're going to say if the event is enter, so I'm actually just going to do key equals enter. Then we're going to send the message with the value. I'm just going to remove that there, and then just set the value to nothing. Seems a bit complicated, but it's really not. All that it's doing is, if I refresh here, when we type into this input, so we do test, as you can see, it gets added to our messages. But the thing is, if I make a new window here, dock this one to the side, if I do hello, both of these are receiving these messages. So that's the reason this one has this, because this one wasn't open when that message was sent. So if I refresh, I do hello window 2, and then hello. So that's a really simple socket.io setup. You can really do lots and lots with it. Rather than just sending strings, you can send things like objects. So instead of us just sending the target value, we can also send things like this. So do message equals and then event target value. You can do basically anything, integers, whatever you want. Sockets are super handy when you want to create really powerful systems that connect with servers. So this is a good example of one of those ways that you can do that. We just created a very simple messaging system through only about 2 scripts. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Be sure to stay tuned for more coding tutorials. I will be releasing more of them in the future. Goodbye.